want to celebrate. We want to be able to celebrate every culture possibly here at Hack as we continue to involve with inclusivity, diversity, and certainly creating an atmosphere of belonging. So it is so imperative that every month we try to bring not only fresh and exciting menu items, but we want to cover an array of dishes to cover the array of employees that work here at Hack. So you all are in for a treat. So I'll be quiet and I'll turn it over to the chefs extraordinaires by way of Chef Steve and Chef Tom.
Good morning, everybody. How are you today? Welcome to Asian American Pacific Islanders tribute live from the Chef's Apprentice. I have to tell you, Chef Steve, Asian cuisine is one of my favorites.
I have to agree with you.
I love it. And you know, you don't realize how many different things Asian ingredients have inspired other dishes. So it's very cross fusional. It goes in different ways. And we're actually going to do a dish like that today. But I want to talk about some of the ingredients we have over here. And half of this stuff came out of my personal kitchen because that's how much I like Asian cuisine. So if we can get a zoom in on this, guys. All right. So, you know, it's endless. So we have different types of noodles. Everybody loves ramen, right? Well, ramen actually has an Asian background, but not this type. So these are bean thread noodles. These are rice vermicelli, which we're going to use today. We're going to talk about how to cook those. These are soba noodles, which are actually made from buckwheat. They're gluten-free. Pad Thai noodles. This is also another rice noodle. This is nori, fresh ginger, of course, fortune cookies. And these are all the goodies that go into making all the different sauces. So we have fish sauce. This is the soy sauce I actually use at home. My wife has a friend who goes to the Asian market and brings it for us. It doesn't taste anything like the ones you buy in the grocery store. A lot less salty, a lot more flavor. Sriracha, one of the big things that has taken off in the last 20 years. Sriracha is just everywhere. Some other things I have out of my kitchen. Sesame oil, okay. Mirin, which is like a sweetened rice wine. Rice vinegar, which is a little different than, it's not as tart as the traditional apple cider. Ponzu, which is like soy with citrus. It goes on and on. And here's something that's become very popular, matcha, right? Which is now, it's like green tea powder. And it's in smoothies, all kind of stuff. So all the ingredients have just crossed over to a lot of the things that we as Americans enjoy. So hoisin sauce. This is guacamole sauce. It's actually Korean chili sauce, but it just goes on and on and on. So you don't have to get all those things, but if you would have thought about Asian American cuisine in the last 10 years ago and to what they offer in the grocery, just the common grocery store now, it's expanded so much farther. They've added all the brands, all the different things, and it's amazing. I absolutely love it. So the first thing we're going to do, Chef Steve is actually going to teach you how to do a proper stir fry. So we thought we'd do this because everybody kind of has an idea how to make a stir fry, but there actually is a technique to do it, and you can make your own. You know, Chef Steve, when my wife started going back to work, I was in charge of my daughters on Tuesday nights, okay, because it was her one work night. And so one of the meals I used to do to teach them to eat vegetables was stir fries.
Okay.
So I would line up all the vegetables and I'd say, what do you want in it? They'd say, well, I want that one and that one and that one. And I always would slip in another vegetable in there that they didn't want to try accidentally. They'd say, Dad, I said, oh, just try it. You know, after 6 months, they ate everything. And it became a family favorite that they like stir fry night.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a great way to get your younger ones to eat vegetables because it's different and they're crisp and they're fresh. And years ago, well, pre-pandemic, you could go to the salad bar and get everything cut up for you. Well, that kind of went away. But grocery stores have responded, and they now have prepackaged, pre-cut vegetables, all different kinds of things, so it makes it kind of easy. So all you got to do is buy your selected protein. So, Chef Steve, you're on.
All right, sounds like a plan. Good morning, everyone. So we're going to start out with a chicken stir fry. So what you're going to do first is we're going to start with our protein. Put a little bit of oil in the bottom of the pan. I'm going to start by getting that nice and hot. Once you get that nice and hot, you always want to start with your protein because your protein normally takes the longest to cook. So throw that in a while. And what we're going to do is we're going to start by cooking this, and then we're going to pull it off so we can take care of our vegetables. The key to a good stir fry is making sure you keep all of your vegetables and your protein the same size, because they all cook very evenly. Because if you have bigger cubes of, let's say it's chicken in this case, if you have real big cubes of chicken and real small cut of vegetables, your vegetables are going to cook a lot faster than than your protein will. So it's good to keep them all nice and even and all consistent sizes. All right. Your chicken will go from like a pink to like a white opaque color. And it'll get some color on it, which is okay. Doesn't hurt the product at all. Just going to keep on stirring that around. Just about ready. All right, some of the other vegetables we have here. We have some celery. Got some carrots. I got some bok choy. Some julienne white onion. Before I go on, I'm going to pull off my chicken. Get some nice color to it. Looks great. Pull that in a bowl to the side. All right, I'm going to throw a little bit more oil back in my pan. And when you start with stir fry, you want to start with your root vegetables first because they're going to take the longest to cook. So we'll start with our carrots. Our celery. Get them going first. A couple other vegetables that we have here. We have broccoli and cauliflower. And the key to this is, like I said, you want to keep it all the same size. It's all nice and uniform because it'll all cook evenly.
Steve.
All nice, same size. I'm also going to throw my cauliflower and my broccoli in this time as well. All right. And we also have some snap peas. Now, with snap peas, what you want to do is you can keep them whole. It's fine. You could also cut them on a bias, whichever you prefer. But today we're going to keep them whole. And you're just going to start sauteing some of your vegetables. Get all those nice aromas going. And with them being cut all the same size, they're all cooking evenly. I'm also going to throw some garlic in that I have here. Smells great. So as you can see, got all nice bright and colored vegetables. All right. So what we're going to do, now that we got that going, going to put some of our carrot stuff off to the side. We're going to throw in our julienne white onion. Get them going. Get all that garlic, onion, cauliflower, all that mixed up. All right, we're going to throw in our bok choy. Get that going. Smelling fantastic. As you can see, all the nice bright colors. And that's what you like in a stir fry. You could also throw peppers in it as well, different colored peppers. All right. At this time, we're going to throw our chicken back in with it. Get that all nice mixed up with it. Any liquid that's in the pan, it's fine from the chicken that you already cooked off. All right, and then what I'm going to do next is, earlier today I made a sauce of soy sauce, honey, some sesame seeds, some chicken stock. And you're going to throw that right in your mixture. Also has some cornstarch in there. Cornstarch is a natural thickener. So as it cooks, it'll all thicken up nice and evenly. Once we get this going, it'll start to come together real nice. That smells so good. All right, now we're gonna throw in our snap peas here. You wanna throw them in last because they don't take that long to cook. As you can see, you got all those nice bright colors. Smells great.
Mm-hmm. Sure does.
All right. So something else I did earlier today was I cooked off some jasmine rice. Now, the key with jasmine rice is it takes a little bit less water than normal long grain rice. Cut that off. That's a great question. So when it comes to tofu is very sensitive to work with. So what I would do is I would work with the tofu last, just because it'll break down if you mess with it too much in your pan. All right. It's a great question. So what I'm going to do here is I got a plate here. I'm going to put some rice in the middle. And when you do this, you want to create like a well right in the middle. So you just make a little hole right in the middle of your rice. I'll show you this once I get done here in a minute. As you can see, you got a nice little well right in the middle. All right, and then we're going to take our mixture, and spoon it right in the middle.
It's almost there.
Got all that nice bright color from the vegetables. All right. Then we're just going to top it off with a little bit of green onion for a garnish. All right. And there you have chicken stir fry over some white rice. All right. Any more questions at all? All right.
Man, does that smell great? I know what I'm having for lunch. All righty. Good job, Chef Steve. Just give us a minute here to clean up. Yeah, Chef. Yep. So the next item we're going to do, so stir fry seems to center around China, but it doesn't have to be. Stir fry is actually a technique of cooking, but a lot of the ingredients seem to be China-based. So we're going to do a dish from Thailand, and this is actually a salad. And this is kind of one of those cross-fusional items where you can use the ingredients, but you may add a different twist to it so it's not as traditional. So what I have here is first I'm going to get started here with some shrimp, just a tiny bit of oil. Where we go? Here we are. Just to saute your shrimp. You want to get your pan hot where you add your oil. So it's similar to stir frying. So these shrimp are marinated in red chili peppers, less lime zest, and olive oil, right?
That's correct.
All right. So while I'm working on that, I'm going to heat this pan up. I'm going to add a little bit of oil to this pan, and I'm actually going to fry some noodles, some rice noodles. We'll get that sizzling. And this is just vegetable oil. And I need to put enough in here that I can get my rice noodles submerged. Now that is burning. So we got our shrimp cooking. We're getting this hot. So it's actually kind of like a warm shrimp salad. So once the shrimp are cooked, we're going to serve them on top of the greens. I'm just going to turn them over. Put that off to the side up here till I'm ready for it. Excuse me. So I want to make a nest of my greens first. Just like so. And then I'm going to add some items to it. I'll do a little bit of julienne carrots here. Maybe this is a better. So we have some fresh mangoes. And add a little bit of that. That corner. Looks like our oil is getting hot enough. So when you put this in here, they should puff up just like that. You see how that kind of puffs up, and it's very unique. It almost doubles in size. And they started out as real skinny little noodles, and they puff up into this nest. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful product. But you got to get your oil hot. That's the key. Okay. We got a little bit of avocado here we're going to put on here. So I'm going to set these off to the side till I'm ready for them, Chef Steve.
Mm-hmm.
I made a dressing here on the side. Chef Steve, what's in our dressing?
So it's sweet chili, garlic, cilantro, water, sugar, and rice vinegar.
So it's got a little bit of heat to it.
It does have a little bit of heat to it.
Yeah, but Thai usually does. So we want to have, put some avocado here. So my avocado, unfortunately, isn't very ripe. So I'm having a little bit of trouble getting the skin off. You kind of got to take what you can get at the grocery store. Sure. You could use chicken, shrimp, or I'm sorry, chicken scallops. You could use a firm fish like a Chilean sea bass, something like that. Yep. Okay, a little bit of avocado. Yes, if you have a shrimp problem, which is okay. And we're going to dust it with some chopped peanuts because Thai, you know, has peanuts. That's the way it is. Okay, I'll take that.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to put our shrimp on here. Okay. All right. And then I am going to take some of our fried noodles and put them right on top. I don't know if you can see that. There you go. So, you know, all good salads have a crunch to them. You know, Caesar salad has a crouton. Some of your house salads may have a traditional. This is your kind of Asian version of a crunch, but it's fried rice vermicelli. And then we have our spicy chili garlic sauce, mango, avocado, peanuts. It's a beautiful thing. All righty, look at that. So, all right, so next we're gonna go around the Pacific Islands. We're gonna go to the Philippines. And Chef Steve is going to do a dish called pancit.
Slide into your other side.
Okay.
All right. So one of the things we did first in traditional pancit is we soaked rice noodles in warm water for about 20 minutes. It gets it hydrates them. Gonna get our pan nice and hot. Throw a little bit of oil in there. What we're gonna do is we're going to heat up our rice noodles for a couple minutes, not long, just enough to get them nice and warm. And then they're going to be the base of our dish. All right. As you see, they're really nice. They're really light in color, very translucent. So all you're doing is just getting them nice and warm, mixing it all around. I'll throw a little bit more oil in there, not too much. All right. So like I said, just a couple minutes. I'll get them nice and warm. All right, and we're going to pull them aside. And we'll come back to those in a few moments. All right. So now we're going to throw some more oil back in our pan. And we're going to start by cooking our chicken. Some garlic. Some shrimp. And I cut the chicken small just like I did when we did our stir fry. Just get them all nice, the same size. Get that nice aroma going to the garlic with it. Throw a little bit more oil in. At the same time, we're going to throw our onion in as well. With a little bit of ground ginger. It all comes together really quick. All right. Want to make sure you stir that really well. Get all that stuff off the sides of your pan. It smells great. As you can see, not much color yet, but what we're getting ready to do is we're going to add our bok choy. Same thing we used back in the stir fry. I'm going to throw in bok choy, some chili flakes, I'm going to throw in some chicken stock. And then I have some oyster sauce here. So you get all that in there. As you see, that came together really nice with all the colors. Let that come up to a simmer. Trying to exactly recall. Chef, do you recall exactly what's in oyster sauce?
It's similar to a hoisin sauce, but it actually does have oyster extract in it. That's why it's called oyster sauce. But it's kind of a thickened, almost like a stir fry sauce, just a little more sugar.
All right. So what Chef Tom's doing here beside me is he's going to create a nest of the rice noodles. All right. And we're just going to put some of this right in the middle. All right. And we have our pancit.
Looks great.
Get that out of the way.
Yep. Want to get a shot of it?
Oh, I thought they got enough of it. My bad.
There we go. Finished product. All right, we're going to put that one there. Okay. So we've traveled to China. We've traveled to the Philippines. We've traveled to Thailand. We have to go to Vietnam. So probably the most traditional dish from Vietnam is pho. And I know I don't say it quite right because I know I don't, but I try. It's hard. So what I did here was I made some vegetarian pho broth. And I started out with onions and ginger, and I charred them in a pan. So charring them means I got the pan hot, I put a little bit of oil or spray down, and I seared the cut onion side, and I took the ginger and I cut it in half horizontally, and I seared both sides to give them color. And it adds color to our broth. Then I added celery, carrots, okay, and a sachet. Also green onion tops are in here. So if you've watched any of my cooking shows, you always know that stock is a big thing, okay? You can't buy this in the store, that it tastes like this. You can't. You kind of have to make it. So in this sachet is cinnamon stick, whole clove, star anise, garlic, okay? All that's in there, and that's what makes your broth. And you'll see when we add this here, I'm going to actually strain it. The color, it's not light brown. It's got a nice color to it, a little bit of caramelization, and the aroma is just killer. You can smell all the spices. Okay. So if you didn't know what a sachet is, what I did here was I took a coffee filter and I put my whole spices in this coffee filter and tied it. And I always tie a string to the pot. So if I want to remove it, pull it out, I can. All right. And then I strain it. So this is my broth. So I'm just going to get that hot. And I'm actually going to build my bowl with my ingredients. So this again this is actually bean thread vermicelli. You could also use rice vermicelli if you want. But we don't cook it. We actually let it sit in warm, sort of like hot tap water for like 20 minutes, and it cooks it. And when you buy it in the store, it kind of looks like this. So it's dry. It's dry and crunchy. Okay? But if you break that out of there and you sit it in hot water for 20 minutes, it actually kind of reconstitutes in a sense. Because it's so thin and delicate, you don't want to cook it like spaghetti. Okay, so there's a difference. So to make pho, you start off with your base noodles. They're usually rice noodles. Now, if I wanted to make beef pho, I would have a different kind of stock. All right. I would have something that obviously has beef bones, that kind of stuff. Same with chicken pho. All right. But my veggies for this are going to be bok choy. I'm going to kind of layer that in there. Matchstick carrots. And then julienne snow peas. As you can see, I'm kind of building a bowl. All right. And then I also have some green onions here. And one of the things that you garnish pho with are limes and cilantro. And if you have Thai basil, if you can get Thai basil, you do it with that also. So I'm actually going to sit it right here. And I'm going to pull over here what you would serve with it, which is sriracha, okay, and hoisin sauce. So I don't know if camera guy can see that. I'm going to put a little bit of this on the side because you take your lime and you squeeze over top. Now, if you are insistent on having a protein in here, you can put tofu in. I have tofu here. I know Chef Steve had a question about tofu. Tofu is very delicate, even though they have different grades of it. But if you say, I really want more protein in mine than just veggies, you can put a couple pieces of tofu in just to add some more protein. And I'm going to put a little bit of cilantro in as a garnish. And then what we do is we ladle, and if you have this at a rolling boil, I just cut it back. Basically what happens is this stock actually kind of cooks the vegetables. Okay, but that's about how it should look, just like that. Okay, there should be enough broth in there to cover everything up. That's actually a good presentation. And you should be able to see the ingredients. And I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me take this away.
Mm-hmm.
But that's our presentation. Okay. All right. Beautiful. Okay. So everything in there is very small and cut thin. So when you add the hot broth, it cooks it, but it doesn't overcook it, because if it's overcooked and mushy, it is not what you want. It has a kind of a horrible mouthfeel. So that is our dish from Vietnam, and it's delicious. And that broth actually cooked for a couple hours this morning, till you get the color down, until you get the concentration of flavor. So our last dish is actually a dessert. So, and it's out of our famous Chef's Apprentice cookbook. All right. So, and this recipe actually is one that I personally created. And it's kind of a cross fusion of using an Asian product. The contest was actually for the Peanut Council. I didn't win it, but I don't ever worry about whether I win it. I always worry about whether I learn something. And then I've already won. After that, it's out of my hands. So, and I always did. So what I did with this recipe is I taught myself some different things. But what it is, it's actually a Wonton Taco. So I'm not sure if you know what a wonton is, but it's a flat, almost like an egg roll wrapper. And to make these shells, I took a foil pan and I sprayed it with a little bit of foil food release. And then I sprayed the wontons. And Chef Steve's actually going to bake these in the oven for me for about 4 to 5 minutes. I'm going to show you what the finished product looks like. before we do that, we've got a couple sauces to make. Okay. The first sauce is a ganache. And if you were privy to the last class we did for Cinco de Mayo, we did a ganache for our churros. This one's a little different. This one is actually, has a little bit of cayenne. We're going to do a double boiler style. So I have some water underneath here. I have a cup of chocolate chips, a third of a cup of heavy cream. And we're going to add a little bit of heat to our ganache, this is cayenne. So I'm going to let that get hot. My second sauce, and I'm going to kind of do these simultaneously, is a salted caramel peanut sauce. So I'm going to turn this on. I got 2 tablespoons of butter. Get that going. All right. So we're going to get that in there. That hot water under there is going to do all the work. And we're just going to stir it. So for my salted caramel peanut sauce, I have here raw peanuts. So the peanuts you buy in a can or in a jar, the planter style, they're all cooked. These are actually raw peanuts. So they're out of the shell, but they're not cooked. So I want raw because I want flavor. So if I use the cooked peanut and threw it into my hot oil or hot butter here, all right, I'm not going to get a lot of flavor out of it. So I kind of added that. So I need to kind of cook and brown my peanuts just a little bit first. All right. So we're going to do that. We're going to let this, I'm going to turn it down just a little bit, but you'll start smelling it. And it's going to start to brown a little bit. And that's okay because I want the peanuts to get a little bit of a brown color. So I don't know if you can see that. Just don't fear that you're not burning them because you're not. Okay. But the butter's going to start to brown. The peanuts are going to start to brown. And this is all okay because this is kind of what we want. All right. And you can smell it. It comes together very quickly. This sauce doesn't take a lot of time. So butter. I got a third of a cup of brown sugar. I'm going to take my heat off just to mix this. Okay. And then I'm going to add a quarter cup of heavy cream. I'm sorry, half and half. So that's going to heat up pretty quick and it's going to boil and it's okay. You see, this didn't take long to come together at all. Okay. I don't know if you can see that. There we go. But that's going to just cook for a couple minutes till it reduces. And basically what we're making is a peanut caramel sauce. So if I add salt to it, what do I have? Salted caramel peanut sauce. And salted caramel is a big thing right now. It does add an amazing amount of flavor to it. All right. I'm going to cut this off. I'm going to come over here and stir my chips and my cream. Just make sure they're coming together. And again, this doesn't take long either. It's about temperature. Once that chocolate starts to melt, this will come together pretty quick. I'll cut my heat back again. Okay, and I'm going to add a little bit of cayenne to it. Okay. Cayenne and chocolate, believe it or not, goes together very well. Okay. Just gonna get it hot again. My chocolate's just a little grainy. So I want to just add a touch more heat just to make sure it's smooth. Okay, and this is our sauce. So, all right. You see, this didn't take long. I know we had everything ready, but that's what we're supposed to do. Okay, so I have my ganache. I have my caramel sauce. I'm going to bring over here. So what I have here is a banana. Just a regular old banana that you buy in the grocery store. I'm going to take my banana. I'm going to cut it in half, kind of lengthwise. And I'm going to cut it into thirds, just like that. So this is kind of the finished product of our wonton taco shells. You see, they're really cool. They're very nice. Okay, I actually made these an hour ago. These are the ones that came out of the oven. Chef Steve just did. They don't take long. They're very lean. They're not fried. They're kind of oven fried. So I want to have a couple spoons here. I'm going to put a little bit of ganache on each taco shell. And then I'm going to put my sliced banana on. And once I have them all ready, I'm going to top them with the caramel sauce. Very simple. And these actually go great with a little side dish of vanilla ice cream. So the thing about Asian ingredients, and I say that because obviously these are wonton tacos, is once you learn to enjoy the product, you start to learn, as chefs, we start to learn to do all different kinds of stuff with them. So, but what a nice little dessert taco. And then we're just going to do a little bit of caramel sauce on here. A little bit of salted caramel peanut sauce. Got a leaner. Just like so. Very nice presentation of an Asian-inspired dessert. I have several Asian friends, and dessert is not a big item course in their cuisine. They do have things like mung bean cakes and different things, but for the most part, it might be fruit. We like the sweets and the sugar and all that kind of stuff. So this is kind of a twist on that. So, which is one of the things I like to personally do is take ingredients and make different things with it. So, and this recipe is right in our Chef's Apprentice cookbook. So, which you can get at the bookstore, through the bookstore website. Right there, the sauce is for the ganache and the salted caramel sauce. Okay, and it's shown in the picture here with a small side dish of vanilla ice cream. And if you can imagine tasting this with a little bit of ice cream on top, it's pretty sensational. So I'm not sure if we have any bookstore people on the call today. If somebody could put the link for the book into the chat, that would be awesome. So, wow, nice spread, huh?
Very much so.
Yeah. It's too bad we don't have anything for the IT guys today. No, they're awesome. I have to do a shout out. I know I say it, but I probably don't say it enough. Our IT team comes in. They've added another camera. I've asked for oven cam like 3 times, and I still haven't gotten it. But I know they're working on it. But they've added another camera to the pan shot that they can get some focus on our food, and they make us look great. And thank you folks for coming, and we really appreciate it. So is any more questions?
Someone said nothing back that, but where is the best place to find rice noodles in the grocery store? The regular pasta aisle? And are they high in carbs like regular rice?
Chef Tom, I don't see any questions, but there are a lot of kudos as usual, a lot of thank yous. We appreciate you all, Chef. Thank you for being consistent. Thank you all for showing up week after week, month after month to continue to provide quality. I had a student that told me as they were talking last week, they said the one thing that they do love about the cooking show is that they always get quality. So I wanted to relay that message that when you all show up, it's never a throw together meal. It's never something that you just are putting together, but you provide us with quality and you give us presentation. And that speaks volumes about the level of chefs that you all are. And so we're just excited that you guys are here at Hack, and month after month, you guys continue to bring us quality. You guys have to stay tuned for June and July, especially July. Many of us won't be able to go to a fair for whatever reason, whether it's the pandemic, working. So Chef Tom and Chef Steve is going to bring the fair to you. So whether it's cotton candy or a funnel cake, you don't want to miss it. In July, we are bringing the fair to you. So if you can't go to an actual fair, no need to fear. The fair will be here at Hack. Thank you all so much for joining us. And it's always a pleasure. We look forward to seeing you all next month. Keep an eye out on the email. Chef Tom, Chef Steve.
Are we still on?
Pleasure.
I'm going to go to your food.
Okay. All right.
Beautiful.
So I think we did have a question. Somebody asked about where to buy the rice noodles in the grocery store. So international aisle is where you're going to find them. That's usually where they at. If there is a local Asian market near you, you're going to get a little better selection. I bought some of these at the White store yesterday, and they're there. So, and each of course, Wegmans is probably a step up. They might have even more items. But yes, it's expanded from what it was 10 years ago. And so you can get more things. This just shows you how much more popular these items have all come. And people are getting used to eating them, and they want them in their homes, in their pantry. So I want to take a moment and just say thank you for the comment. And we do take a lot of pride in what we do. And we do not throw the show together. And thank you for noticing that. And Steve and I know I can speak for Steve, and I'm sure Steve wants to say something too. We take the time to put the menu together and do some research and try to show you different things that you may not see everywhere. And we appreciate that all that was noticed, because we do have a lot of pride in our profession. So thanks for the comment.
Is there any final questions as we come to a close? Just another thank you again from Kim Wolf. And then also another thank you from an Eric Jackson. Excellent, Chef Tom and Chef Steve. So
Thank you very
Ms.
much.
Thank you very
Jackson, for
much.
joining us. Everybody's saying good show. Thanks, Chef. Great demo. Thank you.
You
All
bet.
right. It's been a pleasure. We will see you guys all again, but please spread the word. Again, if you cannot get to the fair, invite a friend, bring your children. We're bringing the fair to you. And who knows, Chef Tom and Chef Steve might do a juggling act for us. I don't know, but anything is possible with those guys. See you guys next time. Thanks again.
Have a great day.
Good show.
Yeah,
Very good show.
they should have won.
Yeah, right?
I'm telling you, they're
Oh, yeah.
stellar.